I am learning to develop for the blockchain, starting with the Ethereum blockchain, and my desire is to do the same on EOS. In fact, I do believe that I have the capacity to do them in parallel, but for the purposes of today's video, should I say today's video? For the purposes of this video, we're going to focus on setting up the workstation environment so that you're ready to develop for the Ethereum blockchain. And in my case, I'm going to be using a Linux workstation to get this work done. So let's take you to my desktop. And the first thing that we're going to do here is download Node.js. And before I go too much further, special shout out to Gregory over at Dapp University. Came across his video series on YouTube, really got me inspired to dig deep into the world of blockchain development, and really good content there. So in some ways, what I'm doing here is a bit of a rehash of what he's done. Hopefully he appreciates it. They say that imitation is the best form of flattery. And so this helps me reinforce what I've learned from him, and hopefully will accelerate my mastery of the subject matter. And with that said, back to the flow here. First thing for me, I downloaded Node.js and got it installed. You should do the same. Available for various platforms. As I said, in my case, I'm using Linux. Second thing I did was I went over to trufflesuite.com and I downloaded Truffle, which is essential in my view to safely developing for Ethereum. And hopefully these guys are working on something for EOS as well. Downloaded the Truffle package, and I've also downloaded Ganache, which is an in-memory blockchain and necessary for what we're going to be doing in this series. So let's make sure that that stuff is where it needs to be. So let's check my version of Node 13.1. That's what I intended. And the Node package manager is also there, so that's cool. I'm in my dev directory. What I want to do is I'm going to make a new directory, call it learning. And in here, I'm simply going to create a skeleton, if you will. And I'm going to use the Truffle suite to do that. By typing Truffle in it. In my new directory, I'm going to get some new files and some new directories, in fact. I've got a test directory where we will create some tests to help us verify that what we're doing is correct. I've got a truffleconfig.js. This is an indication that the distribution of Truffle that I'm using is a bit newer than what Gregory highlighted in his video series. Time was you used to get two files here. One, the truffle-config file actually came out of a conflict that on Microsoft Windows was exposed when the truffle.js being associated with the local JavaScript engine would actually supersede truffle.exe. So good to see the folks at Truffle have worked around that, come up with a steady state solution, and truffle-config is the winner in that little bit of a battle. Our contracts folder, obviously this is going to be where the results of what we're doing, actually scratch that, this is where we're going to edit our source code, And so as we edit our source and go through the compilation process, that source will be picked up from the contracts directory, and the migrations directory will be utilized as our code is migrated to the blockchain. And in our case, that'll be the local in-memory blockchain. With that in mind, I want to take a look at the truffle config, because I want to make sure that starting out we are going to be able to talk to that local blockchain, that Ganache in-memory blockchain. So I want to remove some comments here. Let's go ahead and do that. And that'll put that in place. I know Ganache is going to start up on port 7545, so we'll go ahead and make that so. And for right now, that's all I need to do to this file. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And let's make sure that we've got Ganache running. I think I put that in the op directory, yes. So I will go ahead and run that. We've got a workspace set up already. And so here we go. Ganache is now running. Simple enough. And what do we have in the contracts folder? Got a migration.sol. Let's take a look at that. Don't really want to mess with it. This is something that's going to be used by the Truffle suite to help in the process of developing and testing what I do here. I think I will go ahead and get out of here and create my own source code. So let's say learning.sol. All right. And first things first, we want to specify the version of Solidity that we're going to use. And I'm going to say 058. Specify name of my contract. I like lowercase. And I'm going to go ahead and specify a variable. Let's call it name. I'm just going to say it's equal to learning. And then I'll go ahead and specify a constructor. Let's see what that does. Can I compile that? Failed. Okay, what did I do wrong? Got public. So I don't need to specify an accessor for the constructor. Okay, still erroring out, no visibility specified. Oh, do I have public in the wrong place? Okay, that was it. So I just had the accessor definition in the wrong place. All right. And so that's cool. I have a skeleton for my smart contract called learning. It does compile. It's also very simple. Moving forward, I will keep with best practice as taught by DAP University and make sure that I'm creating these things in a test-driven methodology. So in the next video, I'll create an associated test for this smart contract, make sure that passes, and then we'll continue to build out what we're building here. So that'll do it for this one. Thanks for stopping by, spending a little time with me, and you will see me in the next one.